Okay, we're back, and now for the final push. Uh, we are literally just looking at the soft forms now and trying to get some of the shapes in here. Right, he has quite a bit going on in his brow. This is seriously overmodeled right now, and it looks kind of like he's pulling massive angry expressions. So I'm really going to have to go in and address that, but. I'm seeing a lot of small forms in here, and I've put a little bit too much in, but hopefully I can pull them back before this finishes. Really, what you see happening is I'm setting up plane changes for some of the larger wrinkles and inflections, like right at the bottom of his frontal bone before he gets into the superciliary arches. There's some characteristic kind of frontalis wrinkles, right, for brow raise expression that are sitting right there. And so I'm just trying to get the planes to line up correctly to give us those, right? So when you zoom far out, you can read the plane changes. And then if you get in close, you may see a wrinkle, and that makes sense, right? The wrinkle doesn't just appear; it goes somewhere where things shift and planes align. So um, you can see I've just put a few little hardening wrinkles in here, right? It's just again a standard brush with an alpha, a round alpha, and it's not. We're kind of maxed out on resolution at subdiv 7, so we're starting to see some polygons. But really, if we have to go in further than this, we can do a few other tricks. But I think this is probably going to be where we end, kind of the highest resolution. And we'll leave the pores and the fine wrinkles out of this, because that's kind of a different level of finishing that is beyond the scope of just figure sculpture. Let a texture artist do that, paint some bump maps or something. Okay, just small tweaks now. Tightening up the nasolabial furrow and then saying, oops, too much, and then actually undoing it. A little bit of refinement to the ear, just so that it looks less smooth and has a little bit of character to it. So I've kind of blocked it in, but now I'm going to run a standard brush up under here with some with some lazy mouse to just really push in the outer rim of the ear. Try to refine a little bit of the back wall of what's known as the concha, the little horn of the ear, or the bowl of the ear. And then this little Y shape, right? This little Y that kind of converges and then comes down. It's called the antihelix. So we have helix and antihelix in the middle. Okay, and now a little bit of neck refinement. Sternocleidomastoid coming down here. Actually, in this area, we're going to see levator scapulae coming up, kind of aiming towards the bottom of the ear, really, and that's going in there. And trapezius, a little bit more volume in the trapezius, and a relatively muscle, well, it's not muscle-free, but it's just kind of a transitional plane in here. Between the sternocleidomastoid and the trapezius. Really, we have the scalene muscles in there, you all know, hopefully, but we don't see them explicitly, except on some rare occasions. Now, this last few finishing touches as we get near the end, just putting a little volume in here, which is the front edge of the masseter, right? Even though he's wrinkled down and we have some of these soft forms building up, we can still see a plane change in here for the masseter, at least the front edge. And I'm just trying to get some of that. I'll have to maybe rework some of my sideburns, but not a big deal. Putting a little more volume in the hair. I'm looking at the reference and seeing things. I'm seeing a little bit more convexity in the bulb of the nose right down here. So I'm just going to start to block that, bulk that out. So as you guys see me refining right now, I'm actually fairly happy with the portrait. And these are just things that I'm noticing as I look closely at the reference, you know, very small plane changes. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to put this down and I'll go back to refining the body and fingers and hands, and then you guys will do the same, and then we will come back for one last sanity check on the face. All right, so this is, consider this our first real block on the face, and it's gone all the way. I mean, this is pretty near the end, but often you need to set it down and then come back, focus on another area, and come back with fresh eyes to just see what you see different the second time around. I'm going crazy. I'm looking at like small planes changes in between this little triangle behind the nose and the mass of the lips now. Yeah, silly stuff like that. I've overmodeled it a little bit, so I'll smooth it off in a minute. But again, like I said, you guys are getting the unedited version. So all these little bits that I end up seeing and putting strokes onto. Okay, that is the end of the portrait for now. All right, so a couple turntables where we've gotten to, and that's it. There's still a little bit to go, but it looks roughly like Andrew. We'll have the hair coming in, which will be very cool to see all of this kind of filled in with depth and high points and low points and even some strands coming off, right? We'll try to get in here with some nice sub-tools for additional hair, and it'll be great. So look forward to that. This is where we've gotten to. We have some refinement to do in the hands still, and then we're going to do another pass. And good luck to all of you for the face. It's going to be tough, a long road for sure, but just observe very closely and iterate because it never comes out perfect, like I said, and you always have to just kind of put a lid on your frustration because being an artist is about frustration and containing it because it's always frustrating until the end. Okay, so just remember to stay the path, work through your problem areas, and try to just be very critical about why they're a problem area. Look at adjacent areas, look at plane changes, what's creating the problems, and hopefully you guys can come to a good point. I'll review all the stuff for the full enrollment students, and you get some of those examples online as well. Okay, thanks, good luck, and I will see you again in another week.